Yeah, one thing I really wish is that we had Vaughn's whole rant about from the Telegram about about how rednecks in the junkyard are really the most dangerous people in a long war, because you run out of everything and you have to recycle and improvise and invent in the field, and those people can do that and a lot of people can't. And that's it, exactly, what you're just saying is this is a clear example of improvisation in the field, and whoever can do that longer with the other guy's junk and what you find will win.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I mean, and think about it, they probably got tens of thousands of 120 millimeter mortars sitting around in warehouses. They probably got thousands of freaking Yaz trucks sitting around. It's like, why not just strap some fucking mortars in the back and hand them out to dudes that know how to do it? And just, you ride around little packs, and all you are is mobile fire support for whoever, wherever.
Yeah,
Maddie, can you please cut in, or I'm going to cut in.
All right. The one thing is that Don brings up great points. That naval cannon, what is it? It's a twin naval cannon that's kind of like the Buffar's cannon that we used to use back in World War II, mounted on a I don't know, what is it, a T whatever, or MBM whatever, but whatever it is, it's mounted there. And think of it, if it has two ATM crews with it that can spread out quickly in a forest line, it can deliver high power suppressive fire at a good rate that actually suppresses the enemy. The ATM criers, they just fire away, they get back on board, they back off. Guys, that's a poor man's Terminator.
Yeah, I wanna really jump on this point. I'm actually probably gonna have to hop off soon, but when people make this comparison, right? When they're like, oh well, this is the statistics of the how far a Leopard 2 can shoot and how far the Leopard 2 can see and how well it's going to penetrate armor and all this other stuff that gets put out on spreadsheets on Wikipedia and all this other stuff. But okay, there's a fundamental sometimes people that look at that and they get really obsessed with this kind of war porn, what people call it, is that listen, the Ukrainians are driving around in pickup trucks. So do you think that a pickup truck, you think that they wouldn't rather the equipment that was not even designed to fight war in the first place, right? It's a civilian application. You think that they wouldn't also be able to make use of ancient tanks if they had them, right? And then Ukrainians did do that. They used T-55s as well. I think the news story was something like the Ukrainians are using T-55s, but these are massively upgraded T-55s. So a tank is going to be better than no tank. A World War II tank is going to be better than no tank at all. It's going to be vastly more effective than not having any armor. That's just kind of my point. And it doesn't matter if you don't have any Leopard 2s. If you have Leopard 2s, but they're not here right now, right? I have a tank right now. It doesn't matter if the tank is old, it's made out of metal, it's big, it's got a huge gun, you're screwed.
Well, think about what the general idea of the tank was, to cross the muddy dead man's ground, shell this shit in World War I. If you read about history, Eastern Front and all that, you will see both sides multiply will say this, is that the only way they could move around was because of the tracked vehicles. All their wheeled vehicles have problems. The only ones that could be able to navigate and still keep operations going were the tracked vehicles. That is a complete misnomer about what actually happens out there. Is that if your logistics can't keep up to you to feed you with bullets, no matter where you go, you're eventually going to get isolated and killed because they can't feed you what you need. You can only go as fast as they can. That's just a fact. They say it over and over. The tank in some format, I think, will always be around. Will it even be manned? Who knows? Will we even call it a tank? But there will be something there that can hold ground when nothing above them can kill it.
Yeah. I think that most people agree that the tank will be around in some form. Of course, there's always going to be changes going on. I guess the question is, how many of them are we going to need them? Because everybody was talking about dispersing troops over the widest possible area, so you can't take them all out in a single shot. But I was thinking about I think Chris had mentioned earlier that he thought that there'll be a large, this is not all we've seen, obviously, from the Ukrainians, that they will make a much larger punch. But that kind of falls back to what I was thinking about logistics. How will they sustain that logistics when they have no real, at least it seems, no effective air defense? You know, because like there was that joke that amateurs talk strategy, professionals talk logistics, right? Doesn't it? Like, you know, Vaughn, Mehdi, I mean, you guys have, you know, been in the military. I mean, doesn't it ultimately all come down to logistics in mobile war?
Every war comes down to logistics.
Yeah, and I mean, the problem is I mean, whatever they get together to feed the offensive, it's all exposed the whole way, you know, because of the drones and the satellites and everything else. So, I mean, they're just at a horrible disadvantage. I mean, even if they had air defense and stuff like that, it was there was parity or whatever, both sides would be taking damage to their supply lines and everything else. It would just be more costly for both sides. But, I mean, right now it's like Ukraine they're naked. I mean, they do have some stuff, obviously, but, I mean, they're having supply convoys swarmed by kamikaze drones. Like, in that one video, let's say, 6, 7 drones hit a convoy of, 4 to 5 vehicles, including a tank or two.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it be easier to take out like a fuel truck than it is to take out a tank?
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying, I mean,
just take out they could all just run out of fuel and then just be stuck there, right? I mean, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the thing. Their logistics are already strained to the limit probably anyways, and that's just another way to hit it with drone swarms, artillery. I mean, there's really, I mean, I just don't see any way they can sustain any kind of offensive or any kind of penetration, because everything that they would need would be getting hit the whole way there, and then once it gets there, it's going to get hit, and then you got to distribute it while you're, you know, getting hit. I mean, even if they have some air support and some artillery support, they're still outclassed, 10-1 and 5-1 in guns, tubes, whatever. And
yeah,
I mean,
know that
the aircraft are operating with pretty much impunity.
So
because I mean, all the Russians got to do all the Russians have to do is fall back and let the Ukrainians keep coming deeper into their air defense cover, and then they don't ever have to worry about shit. I mean, that's why like I said, that's terrifying to think. If I was on a tank, I'm out there, and these motherfuckers are hunting me with thermals from 6, 7, 8 kilometers away and tagging my ass. I mean,
and you can't see them.
And I mean, the only thing that would save me in that situation would be an active protection system, maybe. Because I wouldn't see it until it was too late. Now, what am I going to do, shoot it with a machine gun? No. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's fucked up because, I mean, you're very vulnerable, and the way that, you know, and think about it, all those trucks and stuff, they're not going to have active protection on them. They're going to have some guy trying to stay awake driving down a muddy-ass road or something through a sunflower field, trying to get to some tanks at some location somebody told them 6 hours